Hello, hello. It's Leah Simone. Welcome back to our channel, Yours, Mine, and the Divine. You guys, I just recorded an entire intro to this video and realized that I'd never pressed play. So that's how this day is going. I'm just kidding. It's all good. But today I thought we would do a fun little reading on what is your big D energy, right? I wanted to switch up the energy a little bit, get energy moving and flowing in a different direction. I think a lot of us have been focusing on like healing and where we need to improve or what our flaws are, blah, blah, blah. Shadow healing has been like at the forefront the last couple months or years. And so I just want to shift it. Let's talk about your light attributes. What is your attraction energy, your big D energy? So of course we have three piles. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And then for pile 1, we have this aventurine ring. Let me try to put it flat so you guys can see. It's a little bit cloudy, so I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but aventurine is known as the lucky talisman. It's really good for bringing in good luck opportunities. And then for pile 2, you have this moonstone earring. Moonstone is really good with connecting you with your softness, your gentleness, the feminine aspects of life, your receptivity, flow, etc. And then for pile 3, you have this kyanite ring. This ring is like really good. Kyanite is really good for like instantly aligning your chakras, kind of but balancing you out, unblocking anything that's blocked and anything that's maybe any energy that's maybe like overflowing or in overabundance. It can help to like slow that down to bring it into balance. So of course I will put a picture here and for you to take your time to resonate. Let me slow down. I will put a picture here for you to take your time to meditate. And hello lovelies, it's me again. I'm back. I'm recording this after I've done all of the readings to tack on to the beginning of the intro, because I know that when I did the intro I said that we were looking at what your big D energy is, and that comes through, but the way that these piles, the messages that were coming through in the piles was more so like where are you experiencing an imbalance between your like your soul and your ego, and what you can do to help align that to lean more into your big D energy and also to help bring on your manifestation. So I just wanted to drop that in. If it gets confusing throughout the piles with my lingo between, you know, big D energy and whatever, if it doesn't seem like it's coming off at first like it's big D energy that I'm describing, I feel you. I totally get that, but this is why. So, okay, I'm not going to hold you up anymore. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you at your pile. Bye. Pile 1. I did not plan this through very well. I wasn't sure if I wanted to. I have this new deck and I want to use it. I love it. I love the energy of it already. I'm so excited that I can't even like keep my words in order. But I don't know if I want to. Let's just get into it. All right, let me get set up. Hold on. You're like, get set up. Shouldn't have been. All right, so I also have this other new deck, and what I wanted to say is, it's gonna give 2 signs, or it may just give 1, but you don't have to be. We're looking at the energy of this card to represent your energy, your big D energy, right? So you have Cancer and Scorpio. You can be any of those signs, or have both of those placements, or have none. It's fine. But the energy that we're looking at, it says, who are they? The spiritual homebodies, where you'll find them, brainstorming how to solve a social crisis. What you'll remember, they look at each other with love in their eyes and warmth in their soul. So this is your energy. You also have the fox in reverse. You have the eagle in reverse. You have over emotional. And I accidentally flipped this upside down. I don't know if you guys saw that. I didn't mean to do that though. But I feel like I'm not okay, so let me just get into it really quick. So you also have universal love. With this card, it's like I can't decide. I think that this is flip-flop within you. because it's like it feels right here and then it's like but then it feels right here and it's like so I feel like you go back and forth between feeling like you love everything and everyone and then being like fuck the world or fuck these people, fuck the place. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is gonna be one of those readings. I'm gonna try to be very conscious and cognizant of the words that come out of my mouth when I'm channeling, aka curse words, but that might be your energy. You may be like, you may have a very active throat chakra. I heard overactive. You may have an overactive throat chakra where, okay, I heard what comes up comes out. Like you might be that type of person where you just kind of like say it on the whim. There's not really much thought to it, and you're confident in what you're saying. I'm noticing like all of the yellows in here in this area. So it's like you're pretty confident in how you present yourself and how you see things. But what I'm actually getting though is that I think that you are. So this is interesting for your big D energy. Oh man, I might have to re-record the title because so the energy that I'm getting is that. I don't know. Oh, okay. So I think this is okay. I'm sorry. I might have to cut this out. What I'm getting is that this is like this is your energy. This is the energy that you can embrace within yourself. That's already within you. This is the aspects within yourself that you are. Okay, let me slow down a little bit because Jesus Christ, I'm going to have to probably like cut this and try this all over again. I'm getting kind of like irritated and frustrated tapping into your energy. It is energy that's like overthought unnecessarily. It's like having to have the specific words in the specific order. It's like a confident. I think that you might have recently took a hit to your confidence. I'm seeing it's like where you were confident in these elements about you, and now I think maybe you look at these elements as like shadow aspects, so now you're not so confident. Let me explain that. So I'm noticing all of the yellow in these colors, the eagles and the fox, but both of these cards are reversed. You may be an air sign, or you may be, I cannot remember right now if this symbol is a fire sign or an earth sign. I think this is a fire sign. It could be an earth sign. Either way, you could be any of those. Your energy is kind of scattered all over the place. I'm going to be honest with you. And so I'm sorry if this reading is coming across all over the place. Please try to bear with me. I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to put it together. It just has to unfold the way that I have to tap into your energy and it expresses itself, what I'm getting, in order for me to be able to sift through it and make sense of it. So if it's chaotic in the beginning, that's your energy. That's how you're feeling. Why? What's going on? You are a person that is, like it says here, brainstorming how to solve social crisis. You may be a go-to person. You may be used to being a go-to person. People go to you to solve their problems or to ask you how to handle situations. Like you have, okay, I just heard the knowledge and the power. So maybe that's how you're looked at. That's maybe how you see yourself. It doesn't matter. And you've done so from a loving place. The way that you guide people and navigate them through their situations, offer advice, that type of thing. But it looks like something has happened where you have recently come into recognition about your perspective and the way that you do things and the way that you advise people to do things. And the fact that maybe your perspective that you leaned so heavily on and that you were so confident about isn't all it cracks up to be. And that there's more out there. Not only that, but I think that there's a realization that's happened where you're recognizing the way that you were seeing things. Okay, I heard manipulative. The way that you were seeing things and the way that you were instructing people to do things, it was kind of manipulative. Like, it's like this, you have to undercut somebody else to get what you want. No matter whether or not that is necessary in a situation, that is okay, I heard modus operandi. So that's your method of operation. That's your way of handling situations. It's like your default response, your go-to. And so like I said before, when in the past, and even now, I don't necessarily get that it was done with malicious intention, so to speak. I think it was done from either guidance of somebody that is like that type of person, and that's how they taught you, or that's how they instructed you, that's how you learned. That's how they like have advised you. Or it's a protection mechanism based on your experiences. Like maybe you showed your softer side, or maybe you were navigating and operating in a more compassionate, understanding way, and that to you, you considered yourself to be naive in that way, and you didn't want to be that and so maybe you might have gotten taken advantage of, or people kind of like ran over you or whatever, or that, and it may have only happened one time, but it was enough to get you to the point where you're like, I don't want to fucking be this person or feel this shit again. So okay, I just heard I'm gonna swim with the sharks. So like that's your energy. You're like, nah, I'm not, I don't want to be a minnow, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be a fucking shark. And so so that ties this into this universal love, that flip-floppy energy, where it's like in some aspects, I think that I think you're okay. So this is striking me as like you are, I don't know why I feel like I need to pull some of these cards, but this is striking me as like you are going back and forth. You are navigating between your old perspective. No, Spirit's telling me to slow down. Oh, look at this card. They said Queen of Swords. Okay, so this is like you, okay, sorry. Spirit's telling me to slow down for a minute. So you have Queen of Swords here. For me, crows are, oh, okay. I think you are connecting with your psychic abilities. Oh, okay. So it seems like where you were operating in your ego perspective before, you're now tapping into your spiritual perspective, your higher self, your higher wisdom, your enlightenment, and you're coming into a place where you're recognizing the duality of nature, of the world in general, of people, of life, of everything. You were functioning so much in your ego and in your logic, and not considering your spiritual, not considering your higher self, your soul, your soul's desires, your enlightenment, your ability to connect. I heard knowingness, your knowingness, exactly, that universal connection. So now that I'm seeing like it's, so what are those little toys? It's kind of like a lava lamp. I don't know. It's like a square. And then when you flip it, you see the bubbles of the lava, whatever material it is, kind of like filtering it in, and it fills up. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like that. Like it's a slow trickle of this enlightenment into your everyday life for you to be able to learn to integrate and manage, because it's like trying to figure out what is useful from your ego perspective and what you can get rid of. And then as this new awareness and this new enlightenment is filtering it in, it's trying to like maintain and find a balance. And in that, there's a lot of like uncertainty and it's unbalanced. Like you're trying to find your stability in that. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're questioning. You knew that you knew that when you were given advice or whatever, you were giving it from the place of like, again, this is a self-protection mechanism for you. So you were giving advice to other people so that they have to protect themselves, whether it was necessary or not. That was just your lens that you were seeing it through. So it's like, what's coming through is like, if you are a person that wears contacts and you have like a stain on your contact and you put that contact in your eye, that stain is going to be on everything that you see. And you're going to think that the problem is what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? So let's say there's a stain on your contact that says danger, for example. You put that contact in your eye, everything that you see is going to look dangerous to you because it says danger on your contact. But what you're recognizing now is that danger is on your lens. It's your contact. But if you were to take that contact out, that danger may or may not exist. Do you know what I'm saying? You can actually see the situation for what it is instead of through your own lens, through your own understanding, through your own spirit, not spirit, excuse me, but maybe shit that came out, but like through your own ego is what I was trying to say. Where now you're incorporating like yours. Okay, so I'm being drawn to this card now, the Queen of Swords. It's like you're first of all, you're deciding like what to cut off in your life, but also like who you need to directly call out. You know what I mean? Like what you need to say in your life to people. Okay, so I'm getting like a couple things. I'm getting when you like the fact that you recognize in situations where interactions with people where you can use your throat chakra and speak up and say, nah, I don't agree, or this is my perspective, or whatever. And because this is so new, I'm just getting the sense that like you have to learn how to say it in a way that it's not so aggressive and so like direct and hostile. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's not your intentions are not to be like aggressive and rude or whatever. Oh, okay, this is your big D energy. So like your knowledge, your enlightenment is that you're integrating in your everyday life. It's like you're figuring out how to share that with people with for a couple reasons. One, because it's like opposite of what you used to kind of like preach, or what you used to, how you used to, okay, I just heard the code that you live by. It's opposite from the code that you live by. So it's almost like this backtrack energy and the hesitation of being seen as like that, like a hypocrite, like that backtrack, like, who are you? You know what I mean? Okay, this is giving me like, kind of like, I don't know, like fear of rejection, to be honest with you. Like, it's like you were so prominent and on what you stood on, and now that has crumbled, and now it's like you have to build a new platform and stand on that. And these same people who were like, gosh, I'm really getting like you on a freaking soapbox, and then a crowd of people and you're just kind of like broadcasting out your beliefs, whatever. And these people, I heard disciples. It's like you had these followers. Like you were, okay, now I just heard the leader of the pack. Like you had these followers, you were the leader of the pack, and I heard word is bond. So your word is bond. It's like people followed your direction, your instruction. You had some sort of authority in this way in what you stood on, but you're recognizing that what you stood on is not solid. And that is coming from, or that came from a wounded place or a misguided place. Okay, so suddenly I don't have no idea why. Suddenly I feel like I need to explain this ring. So I put this ring on because I'm manifesting, to be honest with you, my next relationship. And I'm not quite sure that I want to get married. I've always felt like that. I don't know if I really want to. Okay. Like the institution of marriage. Oh, so maybe it might have something to do with marriage. Maybe like you stood on like these vows or these vows of tradition. Yes, exactly. So, okay, this can play out in a couple ways. So it could be like relationship, like an actual marriage, that there were like sacred vows is what I just heard, that you stood on and that you lived by and you preached, and you were like, this represents me. This is the man or the woman that I am. And now you're seeing things in a different light, which is contradictory to this marriage. This could also be like religion versus spirituality. I'm just getting like it's duality, like the contrast, recognizing that like you don't have to be just black or you don't have to be just white. There's a gray area that people can exist in, and it's totally cool to be there. It's actually healthier, better to be in that area because it's the balance of lights and shadow. It's the balance of good and evil. It's the balance of masculine and feminine. It's the balance of doing and being. It's the balance of giving and receiving. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like that. It's the balance of I don't know what I was going to use the elements, but honestly, I have no idea what are opposites. Is air opposite of earth? And then like fire and water are opposites? Or not? Yeah, is that what I'm trying to say? Anyways, it doesn't matter. You get the point. So yes. So that's where you are. That's your big D energy. Your big D energy is like, okay, so with this card, communicating that and like sharing that. But I'm getting that you're like, maybe it's not as, it's new. It's a new territory. And so it's like you're learning the terrain and what equipment you need on this side of the terrain because it's more rocky, and what equipment you would need on this side of the terrain because it's more muddy, and you know there's a hill and a slope over here. I've been watching a lot of Alone, you guys, so my references they have to deal with landscape right now, which is all good. But Also, so with this Queen of Swords card, you have the crows that have come out, and I'm just getting the fact that, okay, you also have like Knave of Wands. This is like, yeah, so I'm getting that you're like super guided. I think you recently connected with your intuition, and you're being super guided by your ancestors. The thing is though, like there's an element about you, okay, hold on. Let me. I'm just trying to clarify. I can't tell if this is like your past energy, where it was almost disrespectful to your ancestors, because it was this like, I know what I know, and I'm right. So it was like disrespectful, and there was disregard to any type of Ooh, I was gonna say intuition, but then I heard influence. But what I was trying to say was any type of, well, shit, I don't know. But basically that, like any type of like guidance or what am I trying to say? I can like see it visually, but for some reason the word is not coming. I'm not getting the word, but it's okay. So then that means, no, hold on. Sorry, you guys. So with your ancestors, it's like there was a disrespect to their experience and like what they have gone through and what their journey was before you, and how their guidance and advice they're always working for your highest good. Like you are coming through as someone that is stubborn or was stubborn. I think, excuse me. Oof, that might have been like a negative aspect. I just was burping. So excuse me. And by negative, I just mean like you overly relied on that stubbornness. Like you were super resistant, so resistant to the point that it hindered your own growth and your own ability to like manifest and receive, and for them to bless you, to receive, to tap into your abundance and blessings, because you're so resistant. And then, so, okay. So what I was saying with the Queen of Swords is like, there's this element your ancestors are saying, like you kind of, I keep getting offering. So I think that they maybe want an offering, and it does, you don't, so take that however that fits into your general practices, your rituals, your own life. An offer can be something as like deep as doing a whole sacred ritual where you offer the things that your ancestors like. I'm seeing like herbs, I'm seeing like tea, like herbal tea, which I'm going to take a sip of real quick. Excuse me. I'm seeing bowls of fruit. I'm also seeing dried fruit, like on like a table. You can have an altar. It could be something like that. It could be an offer, even just like, okay, so I'm getting like meditation and just kind of like speaking out to them, the things that you're recognizing, or I'm getting apology energy. If you don't want to say it out, you can say it like in your, what do you call that? Like your, when you talk to yourself, what is that? There's a term for that. Your inner voice. You can use your inner voice, or you can journal. You can journal it out like as if you were talking to them directly. You can just try to like an offering to connect with them. That's what they are like looking for, asking for. That's what they would be super open to receiving. And so with this, I'm just getting like, the thing about crows is crows are, to my opinion, they're fucking underrated, yo. Like crows are goddamn gold, if you ask me. I always relate crows to the ancestors, and I love them. I think crows are super fucking powerful. But you think about it, like crows are like so common, but that is not a bird that anybody would eat. Like I don't know why, but like that's not a bird that anybody would eat. You think about a crow, like a crow sits up on top of the tree in the middle of the woods. There can be predators lurking around, and then you come in. That crow can decide whether or not to alert the predators that you're there, or that crow can decide to keep your secrets and fly and tell you, like if you acknowledge them, let's say they fly and you follow their path where they're flying, they can lead you to safety. Like they can show you where the resources are, or they can let you know, like, okay, you're trying to do it out here on your own without my type of guidance, and you're trying to like catch this fish, for example. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, you caught a fish. Now I'm about to start gawking and alert everybody that you have this fish, so the predators know where to come to get your food, like that type of thing. And it's like respect the crow for the crow. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to look at the crow and say that's just a fucking crow. It's annoying. It gawks. It's like dark. It's nobody likes it. Nobody eats it. Like whatever. But it's like, respect the crow. It got its status and its title for what it is. And that's what you, I think, are learning. And that's also what is being asked of you from your ancestors or your angels, your spirit team. I always relate the crow, like I relate the crows with like ancestors, like spiritual realm spirit, you know what I'm saying? It could be ancestors like immediate past loved ones, or even ancestors from like eons ago. So there's that. The other thing that I feel like, hold on, so there's something else. Yeah, okay, I mentioned about like the crows can keep your secrets. So yeah, the offering, they would appreciate that. To help, okay, I heard something about grounding. To help you with, you might have, okay. So in the beginning, remember I was saying like the energy was so kind of all over the place and not really, it wasn't grounded. It's not grounded. Your energy is not grounded. So like connecting with them, offering them, I keep getting prayer. So you might pray to them, pray out to them, call out to them. And by prayer, you can even just like, it's like for me, you know, it doesn't matter. However, whatever, okay, let me slow down. Something about prayer and a prayer is also considered an offering. That's the message. So I think for some of you guys, like you're not so comfortable with like I was suggesting, like having an altar or offering tangible things to a spirit that you can't see with your visible eye, because this is new for you, like connecting to the spiritual realm in this way. And that's cool. Your ancestors are saying, like your guides, your angels, they're saying like connect. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like in whatever way, they recognize you for where you are in your journey and how this is a new terrain and you're kind of exploring, but don't like forget about them. Don't keep them on the back burner. Don't like not acknowledge them. Do you know? Okay, so there's also another message coming through that like these small moments of good luck and stuff that if you've been going through like a rough time trying to balance this, these small moments of like good luck and things kind of like working out for you in your favor, it's your ancestors. They're doing that to help you out. But it's like, oh, okay. So it's like if you're a person that you feel like, I say ancestors, but it could be your spirit guides, your guardian angels, like however you relate to whoever is guiding you on the spiritual side. That's for you that's your own personal journey. So I'm using language that is like specific, like that I can relate to. But if you can't, that's okay. Fill in the blank with whatever terminology or language that you use. So if that's to say your angels or guardian angels or your past loved one or your ancestors or your higher self or God or the Holy Spirit, whatever your terminology is, it's energy at the end of the day. So connecting to that energy that is guiding you and always working in your highest good, connecting and actually building a relationship, getting to know that energy, because that energy it has a personality the same way that you have this BD energy. Like, you get what I'm saying? So they're asking for you to like reach out and like genuinely connect, because if you feel like you've been dealing with some frustrations of maybe like smaller blessings or smaller manifestations and the bigger things, I'm being drawn to this ring again, like the bigger things that you do want for yourself, it's your people. I'm gonna say your people. They feel disrespected. Your guides, the people who are guiding you, your guides. I'm gonna say your guides. Your angels. I don't know why, something about what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. I feel like I'll be here forever trying to like plug in the proper word that relates to everybody. So please, you guys, just like God, whatever it is, whatever terminology that you use, God, the universe, divine, source. I'm gonna say universe. But if you feel like the universe hasn't met you in meeting your bigger manifestations, it's because you're not acknowledging. Okay, I just heard rite of passage, and I'm seeing like a hierarchy. It's like you're going, okay, so the example that I'm getting is like if you have an issue let's say you like having it, I don't know why I just chuckled. I used to work for tech support, so I guess that's why. But let's say you have an issue with like your smartphone. The screen went black or something, and you need to call the phone company so that you can get it fixed, and you're irritated, you're frustrated, you've been going through this, blah, 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 whatever. Like, you would be the person that immediately gets on the phone and like, can I talk to the manager? I need to talk to the manager. You would be, quote unquote, the Karen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to speak to a manager. Instead of allowing the customer service rep that comes on the phone and has the ability and the training to help you to see what they can do, you just automatically assume like they can't do it, and you go straight to the manager, aka like, so basically that example is saying like you are overlooking and bypassing your ancestors, the people who have laid down the work before you, who've gone through this and paved this path. You're not honoring and respecting your ancestors. It's like you're discrediting. Okay, they feel disrespected. Like, you're discrediting what they have to offer, what they're saying, what type of guidance they're giving you through your intuition, through your psychic abilities. You're dismissing it altogether, and it's disrespectful. And they have the ability to either make things crumble like for you, or to help things to manifest, to work things out in your favor. And it's like they're saying like you're not recognizing that. Like, you're looking at the crow as it's like, oh, it's the crow, but you're not. Yes, you're not recognizing the power it yields in its ability to balance both energies. You get what I'm saying? The good and the bad, the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine, the I'm going to do for you, the receptivity, the ability to like kind of influence your journey. You know what I mean? Like, your path is your path and your journey is your journey, but your ancestors, these crows, they can throw fucking boulders along this path to make it difficult for you, or they can see the boulders ahead and move them out of the way before you get there. However, whatever type of interaction you receive is based on you and how you do or don't interact with your guides, your ancestors, the spirit. You're going from like A to Z, and you're forgetting all of the other alphabets in the middle. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you just want to jump from start to finish. Okay, you just want to jump to start to finish. So I honestly have no idea how this, I get how this message makes sense, but okay, let's relate this back to your big D energy. Okay, so that's what it's like, doing that, like tapping, connecting, balancing that out, stabilizing that out, this spiritual knowledge with, your ego, stepping more into your spiritual side, and like less in your ego has been overactive. That's your big D energy, the balance of that. And so what I just explained was like your guides coming through, your angels and ancestors coming through to show you how you can help to step more into that big D energy. Yes, Four of Cups, man. Talk about it. Exactly. So this is like, I don't know. It's just like okay. How can I describe this? This is to help. So this is to help bring like balance in emotional fulfillment. Let me explain. Remember how I said in the beginning, like I had the vision of like you standing on a soapbox, and then you have like your crowd, the disciples, whatever, and you were the person that was like, blah, blah, blah. Like, you were so good with that one. So it's like now you've completely been knocked off and you're trying to rebuild, right? So it's like they're trying to get you back to a point where you're not like, you're good. You don't need anything more, you know what I mean? But you don't need to turn anything away. Like, you're good. Like, you're good with what you're getting, and you don't want, like, they want you to have some stability in that. Do you get what I mean? Like, don't ask for more than, like, don't ask for more than you can handle. It's okay. Like, it's going to topple you over. I'm just seeing like the thing being toppled over. I'm actually seeing like a witch hunt, and the post like being knocked over and fire. So I don't know how that's significant. Like, I don't know if I feel like there's an association with the spirituality that you connect to, like, how am I trying to say? It's like it's like the shit that you see in movies and TVs. Like, what do you see in movies and TVs as far as like witches and vampires and werewolves and, you know, witch hunts and witchcraft and blah, blah, blah. Like, yes, it has been super commercialized. So you probably see that like socially on social media and stuff. But it's like your idea, when you see that, you're connecting it to like the things that you would have seen in movies, and that's not an accurate depiction. It's I heard fictionalized. Is that the right word? I have no idea. I always forget what's the difference. Okay, fiction and nonfiction, fact or yeah, it's fictionalized. There you go. Okay, had to work through that. It's fictionalized, and it's like you're taking what you see like in movies as truth. But like if you connect to your ancestors, okay, so connecting to your ancestors will show you, because it's like these are the things that your ancestors did. So for example, you hear someone talk about witchcraft, right? Witchcraft is basically using it. It's the same. Okay, there's a lot of terminology. You can call it like witchcraft. You can call it manifesting. You can call it's like attract likes, law of attraction, that type of thing. The thing with like witchcraft is that it's using like elements and symbols that's associated with whatever your desire is to help to magnetize and amplify your intention. So if your intention is to get a new job making $100,000 a year, you know what I'm saying? It's like you have to have, it's the balance between masculine and feminine energy. So you can't just like light a candle and then do nothing. You know what I'm saying? No, yes, you light the candle and you allow yourself to be open and receptive. But in being open and receptive, you're also being open to when the universe guides you to take action, to then start moving and doing stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? And there's the balance of that masculine and feminine energy, and then the like the herbs or the elements that you use, the fire, the air, the water, the wind. Did I say that? Fire, air, water, earth. And then like any type of herbs, whatever you decide to use or however you decide to do that magic, it just helps to amplify that intention and put it out to the universe, and to move any type of obstacles that may be or may have been in the way to get you to that destination easier, more seamless, quicker. Like, do you know what I'm saying? With less obstacles. So, there's that with, I don't know. Okay, so that's it. That is a wrap for you, pile one. That was very abrupt. I think your angels, I feel either you got it, like it's clear, or your angels are like, all right, cool, done. You don't need to say anymore. I think that you got it. I don't know if that was, let me know down in the comments, please, pile one, if you don't mind. Like, was that enlightening? The way that I explained that witchcraft section, that part of it to you, did that like help you kind of like, I see. I mean, I know that there's so much more to it. Again, the way that it's depicted in movies, I wasn't alive back in the day, but this is information that anybody can get through their, that's what I was saying. Anybody can get through their lineage. So something about like your ancestors, even like in African cultures, you think about, they had the, like the tribe, medicine man, the healer, the tribe healer, you know, and it doesn't even just have to be in Africa, like anywhere. A lot of cultures, they have used elements and herbs and earth and stuff to heal ailments. Spirit, you have the shaman. Anyways, what I'm explaining is do the research. That's what your guides are saying. Do the research, connect with them, and you know, like you will be guided. You will be able to tap into your infinite wisdom. These things that are seeming accidents, they're not. So if you're like, you know, fuck witchcraft, blah, 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 whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then like you meet a person who's like, oh yeah, I totally practice witchcraft. Like that's your opportunity. Or if you go to your guides and you're like, all right, what is this witchcraft? Like, what does that mean? What did you do? What's in your lineage? Whatever. It may not always be immediate, but be open. You might then meet someone who practices witchcraft and they talk about like, oh yes, this has been passed down in my family for generations. Like I remember my mom telling me stories about how her great grandmother, you know, taught so-and-so and da-da-da-da, and like, you know what I'm saying? And so that like, that's the way to kind of ground this in a real way that balances your logic with your intuition. You know what I mean? With the fact, with the fiction. Do you get what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. So, yeah, that is what I have for you, pile one. So this is your big D energy. Kudos to you. That's honestly, that's such a tremendous feat. Like that listen, I'm just speaking from my own experience. It is not easy to integrate spiritual knowledge, spiritual practices, spiritual rituals, especially if you're someone who, one, has not ever had experience with that, or two, if you've been so conditioned in a religious upbringing. So kudos to you, 100%. I super love that. I super appreciate that. If you did also, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I absolutely appreciate seeing this grow and your comments. It really fills my heart. I'm not even kidding, because sometimes these readings come through and I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. So I start to doubt whether or not it's going to make sense to anybody else. So when you guys leave those comments, I'm like, oh, this is great. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a newbie. But anyways, if you are returning here from a previous video, or if this is your first time, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you hopefully in another video. Bye, Pile 1. Okay, Pile 2. You have chosen the Moonstone. Oh my gosh, I gotta get better at this. Obviously, my channel is still pretty new. Oh my gosh. All right, so you've chosen the Moonstone. I am not, I'm not up there yet, like, you know, Esotero and, which is a great channel you guys should check out. I don't know why for this pile specifically, I'm being like guided to talk about Esotero's channel. She does a lot of like, she is the fucking queen when it comes to like reading love energies and relationship energies, in my my humble opinion. Like, I think she's really great with that. And freaking Jess the Chaos Witch, she has a tarot channel also, and she's really great with like that nuanced psychological approach in her tarot readings. And then Bahati Life, her name is also Jess. She's also on YouTube, all these people. She's really freaking great with like intuitive. She reads tarot and has a deep understanding and knowledge. This is like her life's work, honestly. She's so knowledgeable, and she's great with like her intuitive messages and stuff. And incorporating that in with, you know, the messages and the meanings of tarot. So I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but those are some other options for you guys to check out if you decide. They're great. They like have had listen, they got their process on lock. I'm just a newbie. I'm still learning, so hella inspiring. All right, but back to you, Pile 2. So we are looking at your big D energy, and it came out a little bit interesting. So I don't know if this is your big D energy that you're learning to lean into. That's kind of how it came out for Pile 1. So that may or may not be the situation here, but either way, you have the Moon card. So it says, the Moon's wisdom is healing, freeing us as we allow ourselves to feel the total range of our emotions. It doesn't ask us to compartmentalize these feelings. The Moon teaches us that everything we feel is useful, especially the feelings we try to discard. Word, yo. Exactly. So do you ever, okay, so you also have the crocodile in reverse. I just heard crocodilio. And you have the zebra upright. You have isolated and judgmental. This is how fascinating for sorry guys. How fascinating for big D energy, right? I wonder if I can add a bleep over that, because golly. Some of you guys might have come here from Pile 1. I'm feeling like carryover or linger energy. So let me actually just like, I'm sorry, is that annoying you guys when I tap that? I'm looking for my, I want to just like clear out the energy real quick. So where the heck is my, all right. I'll just get a new guy. Okay, so with your the Moon card, what I'm getting is the Moon is like very, oh, that makes sense. You have the Moonstone. I was gonna say the Moon is very soft and feminine, and it's so accepting. The Moon like knows your secrets. The Moon represents your secrets, and the Moon it helps you to become comfortable with your secrets. And my secrets, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, but it's the shadows. the sides of yourself or of life or your experiences or even the judgments that you have of other people. It helps you, it like holds you and coddles you and nurtures you while you accept these parts of yourself and of, I'm like right by the smoke detector, so I hope it doesn't go off. These parts of yourself and others. There's also something coming through about like recognizing that the judgments that you have, that you carry of other people are also the judgments that you carry of yourself. So if you judge people for being, I don't know, like too bubbly and happy or something like that, it's like you judge yourself. If you choose, this is a good example. So let's say you meet someone that's pretty soft, nurturing, kind of like vulnerable in that way, almost like childlike, maybe a little less protective or just like open, innocent. You know what I mean? It's like you don't express, you may be a person that doesn't express that, and you judge that part of yourself because you judge someone who's like childlike. It's like that part is within you, but you don't allow yourself to express that. And oh my gosh, okay, so I'm just getting the energy like you're the type of person, you may actually have this experience like legit, where you're an adult, you meet another adult, and they have this childish, playful, innocent, childlike energy. They haven't been hardened by life, you know what I mean? Like they still have their innocence. And for you, it's like you judge that. But the thing is, when it's just the two of you in a safe, sacred space, like you allow that child to kind of come out and play, and you like that. It feels good to you. Like you want that all the time. But I just heard in the light of day, yeah, like in broad daylight or like outside of those four walls, like you would never be caught dead showing that side of you. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's like when other people are looking at this other adult that's childlike, and they start like you're judging them too with it, but secretly like you're oh my gosh, there's a movie that's coming through, and I cannot, oh my gosh, it's not coming through all the way, but basically it's like what I'm seeing is like, what is the movie? Oh my, okay, I don't know if you guys, A Walk to Remember is the movie. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but A Walk to Remember, there's this girl whose dad is a preacher, and she's like the good girl, quote unquote, and she's like so kind, so nurturing, so loving. People like talk shit and judge her and make fun of her, and she's just so like, she doesn't get enraged or inflamed or like anything like that, and she just does what she does and what she loves, and she doesn't care if anybody makes fun of how she's dressed or the fact that she likes reading the Bible or that she loves God or that she likes reading books in general, or you know, spending her time volunteering at like nursing homes or like with youth or whatever. Like she doesn't care because that's her lane, and you know what I'm saying? So that's her. Then there's this other guy who's the bad boy type, and he hangs out with all the kids that are judgmental, and they, you know, do risky shit that they shouldn't. They like bully other kids and, you know, make them do shit where they get like they convince this kid that they convince this kid like, oh, you can be a part of our crew, our clique, our circle if you go jump off this, you know, bridge. We're going to come behind you. And they all got up there to pretend like they were going to, but they didn't. And I can't remember if they pushed him off or they just like, yeah, go ahead, we're going to go after you. Anyways, he jumped in and he ended up like really injuring himself. And then they left the kid. So the bad boy was in this group. He's like the leader of this pack, right? And he's the one who ended up getting caught. So he had to do community service, which ultimately put him in the path of this girl who is in her lane, does what she does, loves everybody, nurturing, childlike, innocent, whatever. And it's like he's at a place where he's conflicted, and he's caught between loving his connection and that authenticity that he has with this girl and how he feels and how it like brings him alive and how he's like able to learn and explore new things. It's like it's exciting, it's exhilarating because it's a challenge to his status quo, to what he's known, that same normal, regular, humdrum, everyday type BS that he's like bored with. It's not challenging or exciting it's like not stimulating for his like mentality or just in general, right? But he has already made such prominence in this group. Like he's like the leader of the pack. So Did I say leader of the pack earlier? I know I mentioned that in pile 1. I'm telling you, there's like energy spilling over. So if you feel like you're drawn to watch that, feel free to watch that too, but it doesn't matter. So so again, so the leader of the pack, so he's like trying to maintain the image for this group and also be this person, his authentic self with this girl. But the girl sees it and is like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? She just kind of like, she calls it out, not directly. She calls it out subtly in a way that it's like by her actions, like she calls it out by being like, no, I'm not going to engage. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't need to necessarily like embarrass you in front of your friends or anything like that. Like, I can give you the look and you know. Do you know what I'm saying? And like, that's you. That's where you are. You're the leader of the pack. Like, you're getting comfortable with the moon aspects of yourself, the things that you try to hide, your shadow elements, the things that like maybe you hide from this group of people that is in this pack. You know what I mean? The crew, the clique, whatever. That you feel more able to express and show with this person. It's like you're coming to terms with this shadow side of yourself. And oh, let me get some, I have this, I have this deck. Okay, so something about this crocodile. I think you're also being awakened to your like third eye abilities, and just like the way that you see things. I think that you're also being awakened to how you looked at confidence and how confidence was presented and what that means. Like the way people present themselves in a confident way, like what that means. So you might have been a person that looked at, like you yourself might have looked at yourself as a person that like, yes, I have confidence when I have the nicest clothes, the newest shoes, the nicest house, I'm driving the nicest car, I have the baddest bee, you know what I'm saying? Or the baddest, what's the opposite of that? Like, I have the illest man. Okay, you get what I'm saying. Like that. And that's like how you looked at someone like to envy. Like that's where your confidence came from. You know what I mean? Like that's the lens that you were seeing it through. Like if I have all these things, then I'm confident and I'm liked, I'm admired, I'm the shit, I'm the top dog, I'm the leader of the pack. And it's like that's being you're okay, I'm seeing, okay, what is this? I heard the word murky and I'm seeing a crocodile like go underwater. Oh, okay. Okay. So it's like you're submerging into your subconscious and I get it. Okay. So you're like going through a stage where you are, sorry. The reason why I paused is because I think the word that came out of my mouth was you're going through a stage. Or did I say sage? Because I heard sage at the same time. But basically that's what it is. It's like you're clearing your energy. You're submerging into your subconscious and you're taking a look at it. I'm getting like in private by yourself. It's like, it's dark, it's murky. It's like you're doing it on your own. You might not even be talking to anybody about it. But like these subconscious beliefs that you have, or these subconscious fears, these parts of you that are hidden, they're in the shadows, that it's like you're looking at it and kind of seeing like, why am I hiding this? Like, what is this to be ashamed of? You're being open to like your third eye, your psychic gifts, like newer perspectives, but also like higher wisdom and specifically psychic gifts. Like you may actually be connecting with, I just heard telepathy. So you may be connecting with like telepathy, recognizing like synchronicities, connecting with how like the universe, how you're in sync with the universe or how you're out of sync with the universe, just like the way this universe communicates. I'm also getting like symbolism. And you might have like, I think that you might be uncertain. So what I'm getting is like you are connecting to I call it a psychic ear. So it's like when I say like, oh, I just heard da 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 da, that's my psychic ear. And I'm getting that you're connecting to that, but I think that you're questioning, you're not sure, you're not confident that that's what it is. And I think that you're questioning whether or not that's like just your own mind kind of like bouncing off the wall going crazy or not. Like you're not sure if that's a psychic thing. Like you're still trying to decipher, because like for me, when I hear the things, I hear it in my own voice, but it's not my own voice. Maybe you can relate to that. If I just explain that, like maybe that brings you maybe like, I feel like you're like, oh, okay. So it's like, I hear it in my own voice, but I know it's not, it took me some time to get used to too. I know it's like the psychic thing. And if ever there's a situation where because there are situations where in the beginning, there were situations where like I would hear or I would get like these visions, and I wasn't sure because how it's difficult to explain it's difficult to explain in a way that it makes sense, because it's not a thing of logic. It's a thing of supernatural ability. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's where you are. You're like kind of trying to reconcile that and figure out like, is this my psychic gift or is it not? Like whatever. But what I will tell you is like, the more that you dig into your the more that you go deep into your subconscious, and the more that you plunge into the darkness, the shadow, the feminine elements, your emotional state, the more you connect with your intuition and your psychic gifts. And the more that you heal those, the more that you kind of like learn to accept. Your shadows don't always, I think that there's a common misunderstanding with shadows where people look at shadows as something to be changed or fixed. That's not the case. Shadows exist for a reason, and everybody has them. It's about accepting the shadows. Like, yes, this is an element of me that I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't know why I don't want to share this. Maybe because I was bullied and made fun of and people have rejected this. So I don't really want to share this side of me, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just means that I need to change the people that I'm fucking hanging around, because they're obviously goddamn afraid of their own shadows too. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that shift in realization. Instead of like placing the blame inward, like, oh, something's wrong with me, I need to hide this. It's recognizing like, okay, these people are judgmental as fuck, and that's just where they are in their journey, but these are not my people. You know what I mean? Because I'm embracing myself with compassion, which means that I am attracting other people who embrace their self with compassion. But as you like toggle back and forth, you'll find the fluctuation between the type of people that you are around. But as you get more comfortable in your own shadows and loving and accepting yourself in your shadows, the more that you'll feel like repelled and repulsed by the people who don't accept their shadows. You know what I mean? Because you know that ultimately, like, they're judging you because they're judging their self as well. And either way, that's not for you to fix or blah, blah, that's just their own journey. And honestly, probably you leaving that group or separating from those type of people will be a trigger for them, like a catalyst for them, to recognize. I heard ignite. To ignite their flame, to ignite their light, their own inner light. Because those type of people, it's like their shadows have it's imbalance between their shadow and their light. And what they deem as light is not light. It's a shadow element. So again, like when I was saying the lens of confidence, like, oh, if I have all these things, if I dress, that's an insecurity, which is the shadow element. So it's like these people are, and you were probably this person at one point too. You actually might still be a little bit, and you're trying to work through it. I feel like that's why I have to explain all of this. So you can kind of like, it's like you're right on the rim of this new perspective, but you can't quite get it. So that's why I feel like I have to explain all of this. But so with what I was saying is, the people that look at they feel confident when they have all of the things and all the money and the status and the power and like it's like you're recognizing, or this will help you to recognize that that's not a light aspect. Just because people are like, oh my God, yeah, so bubbly when they have all of these things, that's not real confidence. It's an insecurity that's being masked by material things. A real confident person will be able to, one, say like, hell no, I don't feel confident right now. I feel insecure as fuck. A real confident person will be able to still have this type of energy of love and connectivity even without what they have. Now, don't get me wrong. Life happens and it hurts. And especially if you have tower moments and shit, like, absolutely. Our egos, we can't exist solely in our soul and spirit, and we can't exist solely in our shadows, and we can't exist solely in our ego. So yes, there are parts of us that's always going to be attached to the ego, always going to be attached to our spirit, always going to be attached to our shadows. So what I'm saying is, like, yes, we may identify our egos in some ways, and if we were to lose that, absolutely, that's a loss. So we may have a reaction, but that the way that we react to that is a good way to determine whether or not we are overly reliant on one area or the other, or whether we're leaning too heavily in our ego, our shadow, or our spiritual self. Because on the opposite of that is someone that can be too reliant on their spiritual self, which is someone that is like, You know, oh no, like too empathetic, too forgiving, too compassionate to the point where it's detrimental to their self, and now people are running all over them. So everything, it's a balance. You have to be able to know when to like put your foot down and be like, absolutely not. I shan't be disrespected in that way. And also say like, that person, whatever the situation was, that person comes back and apologize. And like, yes, you're going to acknowledge, I need to make sure that you have an understanding, because if I choose to go forward with you, like in this situation, rekindle this relationship, this friendship, this situation, this environment, this business, whatever it is, if there's a continuation, if we decide that we're going to move forward, like, I will absolutely understand. I need to understand so that I can have compassion. Because if you're just being an asshole just to be an asshole, and you don't have any awareness as to why you're being an asshole, and you can't relay that, then you haven't progressed. And there's a higher chance that you're going to repeat that type of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's like that other type of person that might be like that's an example of being balanced. So I don't know why for your pile, I feel like I'm talking so fast. You might be a fast talker, actually. Ooh, I just got like Gemini energy. Gemini's a fast talker, a smooth talker. Well, goddamn. They are like really good salespeople. See, all of these cards come out as I'm like, they're fast. They're fast talkers, smooth talkers. Let's just take them and see what happens. I really like this. I love the energy of this deck. I don't know why I like suddenly just feel like I want to start dancing. I feel so like suddenly like happy. Did I clarify something for you, pile two? Please let me know in the piles, because it's just switching energy, like happiness, like, oh yeah, like a celebratory, like man, like I don't know. It's like, you know how someone, like, you know those people who get hungry. Well, everybody. You know when people get those people that like me. It's me. I'm the person. Like when they are hungry and then they like get food and they eat and then they're like happy and they start doing dances and like like that's what your energy feels like right now. That's how your energy feels like. Did I say something that clarify like that? I don't know. Are you in some sort of celebratory energy or something? I just switched up. You have Queen of Pentacles leading this pack. It's like very nurturing energy. So I feel like you're coming into that. You don't have to be a woman. You can be, but Queen of Pentacles describes energy, and the Queen of Pentacles is very like nurturing, caretaking type energy. Like, so this is the person that will like take care of home. You know what I mean? Like they will make sure the house is nice and cozy and well, like it's an environment for people to let down their shields. You know what I mean? To be their true authentic self. It's nurturing, it's loving, it's caring. It's like, this is your favorite snack. I have this. This is you like blankets. I have these. Oh, you like it to be cool. I have a personal fan for you. Like, do you know what I'm saying? That's this Queen of Pentacles type of energy. It's like, oh, you've been working all day. Let me get you this meal. You know what I'm saying? Or like, okay, I see you've been putting a lot of work into this business you're building. So let's go on this trip or whatever. You know what I mean? I know these are like very like, what's like traditionally feminine qualities that I have just described, but again, you don't have to be. It's not. Anybody can be nurturing. So I don't want you to hear this and think like automatically try to think of a woman or anything like that, or feel that like if you're a man and you're hearing this that this doesn't apply to you, because I just described like feminine quotes. If you're a woman, just take it how it applies. So yeah, that's your big D energy. Like that's what you're leaning into. That's what you're, I don't know why I said leaning into, but yeah, that's what you're trying to balance. That's your big D energy. So again, whether you're a man or a woman, that's your big D energy. You don't have to have a B, but you get it. So, oh my gosh. I know all of these cards came out, but I feel like I'm done. Like I feel like that really wrapped it up, to be honest with you. That was like very quick and clear and to the point. Let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing. I just feel, let me grab a sip of my tea, you guys. It's almost done. I'm not even going to have any for pile 3. Which is cool. All right, so honestly, I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I feel like I've said, I don't know why I was about to say I've heard what I needed to hear. I feel like that's your energy. Like that's it. Like whatever needed to be said, you got what you needed, and that's that. So that's where I'm going to leave it, pile 2. Honestly, that summarized everything pretty good. And I feel like these are only just confirmation cards, but, I hope that this was beneficial for you and that this helped to illuminate kind of, I hope that this helped provide clarity. And I know that I say that all the time, but specifically with this pile, because I was getting the energy of like a need for clarity, like something, the way that something needed to be explained, maybe even specifically like with your like psychic gifts or something like that or something. I don't know. So I hope that this did provide clarity and that it was helpful. If it was, I would super appreciate if you liked, comment, and subscribed. Thank you so much for contributing to my channel growing, you guys. My video before this, one of my videos, is like almost at 500 views, which is fucking major for me. I don't really like put myself out there like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Either way, so thank you guys. That's a big deal for me. I appreciate your contribution and also the feedback, because sometimes when I do these readings, it doesn't always make sense to me, which would make sense because it's a general reading and it's for you guys. So sometimes I doubt myself whether or not like this is something I should post or if anybody would relate to it or whatever. So hearing that really is helpful. So that's what I have for you, and I will catch you again. Hello, pile 3. You have chosen this kyanite ring, which is one of my favorite rings, you guys. So this ring is helps to align your chakras. So this is going to be your reading. I don't know why this ring, hold on, sorry. This ring, something, my throat starts suddenly like, well, this is interesting. My throat suddenly felt like kind of tight. I don't know, my mouth is like salivating all of a sudden. And I feel, I don't know if this is like nervousness or what. So anyways, we're looking at your big D energy. So, what I'm going to say is that the way that this reading has been coming through. Okay, hold on a second. This energy, I have to like, I feel like I can't even concentrate because I'm so distracted by a couple of things. Like, are you guys curious about a couple things? Because my attention is being drawn to a few things that I feel like I need to address. One being this ring. I don't know why it matters. It doesn't matter. So I don't know why it matters, but if I feel like maybe somebody's curious about this ring, it's fake. It's not real. Fake as in the jewel is fake. And also I'm not married. I'm manifesting. So that's why I have this ring on my ring finger that looks like this. I'm actually not even really sure that I want to get married, to be honest with you. So this is just more symbolic. I don't know that marriage is my ultimate goal, but whatever, I'm working through that. So that's a side note. I feel like I need to explain that to you. I'm not really sure why. And yeah, so I don't know, did that do that for you? There's something else. Is somebody here wondering if I'm in a relationship? Because I feel that's what I'm feeling is like the energy. Like, is somebody wondering if I'm single? None of your fucking business. I'm just kidding. I don't know that I want to answer that. But so, okay, getting back into what I was saying was that for this reading, we're looking at your big D energy, but the way that it was coming through in the past 2 piles was like, this is what you're stepping into or what you can lean into more to really amplify your big D energy. But either way, big D energy. So with this card, you may or may not be one or both or any of these signs, but we're just looking at your overall energy and how it's being represented, your overall big D energy and how it's being represented. So you have Gemini and Pisces. Who they are, the effervescent spirits. Where you'll find them, co-writing a riveting screenplay, then starring in it. I don't know why that's so funny to me. What you'll remember, being around them feels like hearing your favorite song. Oh my gosh. I'm already getting like such like I love you energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I just heard, people, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one boy, cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. So much fun. So that is your Big D energy. You're welcome. Bye, pile 3. I'm just kidding. Okay, first of all, I think I love your pile the best so far. Nothing against the other 2 piles. They were great. But like this energy was amazing. It's so like uplifting and like fun and light and playful and joyful. And it's a great change from the types of readings and energies that I have been getting. Ooh, but you might be... Okay, well, this is interesting. Okay, so, oh gosh, I'm getting scattered energy, but also like both of these signs are dual natures, which totally makes sense because I'm getting kind of like opposites. So you have the unicorn, the horse, you have lacking focus and can't see beyond the physical. So here's the thing. This is an earth card and this is a spirit card. And I feel like this is a balance of, do you know what might be the theme of these piles that I'm recognizing? It's like balancing the ego with the spirit and what your particular journey is. So I might have to redo the intro. Side note, sorry you guys. But that's this. So that's what I'm getting is like this balance of spirit and ego. I don't know if this is like the most evolved or reconciled pile group of the piles. So you have the unicorn, which is a spirit card, and then you have the horse card. The horse card is an earth card, but it's also like psychic. Its third eye is lit up, you know what I mean? But it's lit up with the moon. So what does that mean? The moon represents like our shadows, subconscious, femininity, darkness, secrets, things like that. The void, the womb. It's like where creation can happen. There's nothing there, and that's where you can create. So I feel like you're a very creative person, and it's intuitively creative. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you are inspired. Okay, I'm hearing the quote, invention is, what is it? Darn it. Invention is, ooh, I don't know if I'm hearing this right. Invention is created from necessity. So basically the gist of that is like people create new things out of a need for something. They need something and there's nothing that can give that or bring it to them. So they have to create something to do that. You know what I mean? Let's say I need to light this candle, but I don't have a lighter. So I need to create another way to be able to create friction so that this can ignite and then create a flame like that. That's your type of energy. It's like, it's very creative, it's intuitive, and it's like you are, oh, you might be a creative problem solver when it comes to like non-traditional ways of handling situations and making things work. So I'm also getting that you are like, you're kind of, I'm so hardcore feeling Pisces energy where you're like kind of in your own world. And it's like, I heard La La Land. I keep hearing delusional. So that's what I'm going to say. But I don't mean to, I'm not trying to make you feel negative, but it's like you're in your own fantasy world. That's a better way to say it. It's like you're in your own fantasy world and you're happy in there. You know what I mean? And it's like you're making things work, but like staying grounded is difficult. It's like that's where this lacking focus comes in. Like it's like wants to bounce around. And then it's like when you are in your grounded element, like let's say you're at your regular job, like being able to connect to your intuition. Like when you're doing a task that requires logic, so you have a hard time balancing your logic and your intuition. It's like doing a task that requires logic, like you feel you are stuck only in that logic. You feel like logic is what makes sense and that's what we're going to go to. When you're doing something specifically like intuitive, like maybe something creative. So maybe you might be like an artist, a painter, or you might write music, you might write a play, like poetry. In that, it's very intuitive. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I don't want to do this paint by numbers, or I don't want to watch this video that says first you stroke at the top left 1/4 of an inch with this amount of pressure. You're like, no, I'm just going to do whatever intuitive. It's like that. And when you're in that, like you feel like it's just that. You don't need any type of like logic or, okay, so what I'm actually seeing in my third eye is, let me get it. This Moonology card, the one that says practice, or not practice, sorry, balance. Oh, this. This is not the one I was seeing. Your dreams need a practical plan. I was seeing the one that's like balance spirituality with practicality. But also that your dreams, like, so when I was saying about like, let's say you're painting. Yes, you're intuitive, but if it's like, if the intuitiveness, here we go, balance spirituality with practicality. So if with painting, if you were to be doing a painting, right, it's intuitive. You kind of do it like whenever, when you have the whim, or when you're in an emotional state, when you need to have a release, whatever, like you do it that way, and whatever comes out, like it's done, and you're like, damn, that's art. And that's cool. But like, let's say, for example, you are an artist, right? And you have a gallery, like you're a big deal. And the thing is, like, when you're doing that intuitively, there's no plan. So you might like paint and be really into it, and be into it heavy. I'm getting like you might be into it really heavy and consistent for like a few weeks. And then like you've exerted that, and then it's like it could be months, years even, before you pick it back up, and then you get it again. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like so your big D energy, or that you can lean to, is balancing, integration. That's what it is. Integration. Being able to balance the logic and the intuition. So bringing logic into the intuition, and intuition into the logic. So situations where it's like you would normally handle it with your logic, you don't need to throw that all the way out. Yes, you can even let that take the lead, but allow, if you create a plan to do something, and you say, okay, I'm going to do this thing, and in order to get from start to finish, I need to follow steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you get to 3, and 3 says, okay, well, for step 3, I need to do A, B, and C in that order, right? But you get a random intuitive hit. Like you just have this feeling like, I don't know, I just feel like I should start with C. Instead of talking yourself out of that and being like, nope, it says do A, B, and C, so I'm going to do it exactly like that. Allow your intuition to come in and start with C. Because your intuition is always designed to help you, to guide you, to move you along for your highest good, for your progress, for your benefit, for your best, for your success, you know what I mean, for your growth, for you. Your intuition is your guide. It's your higher self. It's the divine wisdom guiding you for your benefit. The universe is never guiding you for a demise. We think that because we're like, oh my God, our situation is so shitty. But oftentimes that happens because we're so resistant and so reluctant to intuition. Or maybe we rely too much on intuition and we're not allowing logic in. Like, you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm going to put these up because I don't know if you guys wanted to look at those or if you can see those, but you have your dreams need a practical plan. This specifically, I wasn't seeing this in my third eye. Balance spirituality and practicality. This is and it's, of course, it's a full moon in Pisces. This is definitely like, I'm feeling Pisces energy. It's like kind of very delusional. Oh, okay. So that's what this is giving me, where it's like, okay, this might be specifically with manifesting too, which also came out in the other piles. Where it's like, yes, and then you have the Taurus energy, which is hardcore, like grounded energies. Pisces is like, I'm out in the fucking la la land. I'm out in the cosmos. And Taurus energy is like, nah, I got my hooves on the ground. You know what I'm saying? It's like balancing those two, being able to ground these ideas into reality by balancing your practicality with your spirituality, by balancing your logic with your intuition, by balancing what you know with what you feel. You dig? So, I feel like that's it. Like, I feel like that's it. I don't want to jip you, but I feel like that's it. Like, that's the message. Like, I mean, I don't feel like that could be any clearer. The moon. Ace of Cups. Seven of Pentacles. This moon card is really standing out to me. Okay, so I'm just getting like, it's like I'm just getting like you've turned your back on the work. Do you know what I mean? Like you're just so taken by your fantasies, your dreams. Okay, I heard your illusions and desires for love. Do you know what I'm saying? That you're so taken by that fantasy world that you've created that you have turned your back on the Seven of Pentacles. You've turned your back on looking at where you are, like what you have done, like yourself. Let me get another card because it's like the work. Seven of Pentacles is all about like taking a break and seeing where you are. What can you get rid of? What's growing? What's not? What you need to pull up? What do you need to give more life to? What do you need to water more? I'm using like plant references because I feel like that's where you're having the problem is the practicality part of it. And I don't mean problem like you're doing something wrong. I don't mean that to be as aggressive as that sounds. I feel like that's where the challenge, the conflict, the friction is the practicality part of it. Like, it's like you think that you can just think what you think and then float off into that. Do you get what I'm saying? And Spirit's like, okay, I started to say, nah, homie. So that's how your guides talk to you. Your spirit's like, well, maybe your spirit, maybe you know in your spirit, like, nah, homie, I got to do more than that. Like, it's a balance. Could you imagine what this world would be if all we had to do was think a thing and that's it? We didn't have to put any type of work or effort into it. Man, listen, I don't know if it would be better or worse. I guess it just would be what it is, huh? Well, same as it is now. Anyways, yes, there's like, I'm just totally getting, I know, I'm just seeing like your fantasies. I'm seeing your fantasies all over these cards. I feel like I got to sit down. I didn't feel that way with any piles. Normally I am sitting. So this is what I'm getting. It's like your energy is so fun. And I can understand why you would, the energy that I picked up on when I first got here, like I can understand why that's your Pisces energy. That's your like fantastical out in the world. I'm saying Pisces because I'm looking at this card. No, you know what? Let me do that. This is your like unicorn energy, or this is your Pisces energy, right? That's great. I can understand why you want to stay there. It feels good. It's so fantastical. It's like there's no problem in the world. Everything that I want exists in my mind. So why would I, or in this fantasy and this illusion that I've created, why would I want to leave that? I'm happy. Life is great. I can dance, eat, like do whatever, drink the drink. Like I can do whatever. You know what I mean? Smoke if that's what you're into. Like gas is coming through. Like that, right? And so much so that like you are forgetting about the Taurus part, the practicality. So I can understand why you would want to be in that, but the more that you stay in this Pisces energy, the less that likely it is that your manifestations are going to come because you're not balancing it and grounding it with the Taurus energy. Your dreams need a practical plan. Do you know what I mean? And that doesn't mean that you have to solve the problem. Give it to the universe and allow it to solve, but you still have to use that intuition to be open to receiving guidance and also following what it is that you need to do. Like that example where you have a plan. It doesn't have to be so rigid that when you're in your logic, you're like, okay, I need to do it exactly like this and da-da-da-da or whatever, or I need to do so much, or I need to have so much control. It's not that. That's control. That's not a plan. It's a general outline, but plans allow for in certain situations, like it just allows the universe, when you're so rigid in controlling how something plays out, it doesn't give any room for the universe to come in and move things in a way that they can do way better than you can for it to be effortless and seamless for you. Do you know what I'm saying? And sometimes an example that I gave in one of the previous piles was like you have your path and Spirit has the ability to see ahead and see those boulders that's there and move them out of the way so you can travel along that path easier. What I'm getting for you is that sometimes you're not recognizing that you are the boulder in your path. You know what I'm saying? So you might be one that's experiencing situations and Spirit's like, and you're saying like you're blaming everything other than yourself. You're blaming the universe, or you're blaming the situation or this person, or you're blaming everything other than yourself. And spirit is intentionally putting these situations in your path so you are forced to stop and take a look at yourself and be accountable and see that, like, no, I am contributing to this by not having a plan. I'm contributing to this by existing only in my fantasy. I'm contributing to this by holding on to such tight control. I'm contributing to this by not recognizing that, by speaking up on my difficulties, by not taking account of what I put work into and what I didn't, by not saying like, damn, I totally neglected these 4 bottom pentacles. Now they're drying up. Like, what do I need to do to revive them? Like, you're not doing that. It's like the back is turned completely to any of this. And then the 5 of Cups, the grief, you're not acknowledging your losses. It's like I don't know why that's difficult for you. Like, to acknowledge like your losses and how you've contributed, or how you might have contributed to your losses or whatever. It's like, I think that it feels like you're not taking that, like you're taking that, instead of taking it for what it is, like you're taking it as blame or as fault. You know what I mean? Like, oh, because I have this loss, I didn't do something right, or I'm not a good person, or I'm not deserving, or I da-da-da. It's like, it doesn't even have to be that. Just take a look at it. Look at the loss and decide if that's, like, figure out how you feel about that loss. Do you want to revive this loss, or do you want to let that loss go? Like, how has that impacted you as a person? And do you like how it impacted you? Like, what type of change it created within you? If not, do you need to adjust, or do you need to just accept and embrace that? That's the work. That's the work that you're not looking at. I just heard it's too hard. Homie, I feel that. But like, so is manifesting. So is manifesting. When you are so unbalanced, so is manifesting. So like, do you want to continue to struggle with manifesting and not getting that? Or do you want to work through the struggle of looking at yourself and then get the manifestation? Don't let me project onto you, but number 2 is sounding pretty good. I don't know. What about you? What do you think? I know I'm talking to you. Like, I just feel like you're I know very well who picked this pile. I just feel like your angels are like that. Like, they're like, that's how they're interacting with you. I know I'm talking to you very like, no nonsense. I don't have the time. That's what I heard. Like, I don't have the time. I also actually heard, like, they're not, anyways, I heard bullshit. Like, exactly. Like, you're full of shit. You're not being accountable. You're full of shit, and you know you're full of shit. That's the thing, is like, you know what you're saying and what you're doing, and you know where you need to put in work, but you just keep making excuses. And the thing is, like, I think you've been around people who have allowed you to continue to make excuses and coast on that. They've allowed you to listen to complain about whatever, and they've listened to that. It's like they've enabled that. This has been, do you get what I'm saying? And so, like, you need people, or you may have actually encountered, spirit I'm getting is like intentionally bringing people in your life to call you out on that. And it's going to create friction. But that's the catalyst. That's the catalyst for growth and change. And you need that, not as a punishment, not because you're far behind, not because anything's wrong with you. You need that to manifest. That's what I think you're not seeing. Oh my God. So sorry. I just heard how I sound talking to you, and that made me feel gross. Like, I felt like that was a little condescending, and I apologize if you received it that way. I was not at all trying to be that way. That felt gross to me, even saying it like that. What I'm explaining, though, is like, I think that what you may be struggling to recognize, or to understand, or to see, or whatever, is that you're trying so hard to manifest, but you're missing a step in order to be able, and then you're trying so hard to manifest, but you're missing a step, and then you're wondering why it's not coming through, and you're taking it like something is being done to you. But that's not the situation. You're turning your back on the whole of the manifest. Okay, so I don't know why this is the analogy that's coming through. It's like you're trying to make Kool-Aid, but you think you can just put the Kool-Aid packet in water, and then it's Kool-Aid. And you're drinking it, and you're like, I don't understand why this shit's not Kool-Aid. It's fucking disgusting. Like, why won't the universe give me Kool-Aid? I'm doing what I should be doing. But it's like, homie, you didn't add the sugar. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're blaming the universe, but you didn't add the sugar. And the universe is telling you, add the sugar. They've like dropped so many hints about adding some sort of sweetener, sugar, stevia, whatever. You know what I mean? Raw cane sugar. Like, they've given you so many hints, and you're just like, Kool-Aid packet, water. Kool-Aid packet, water. Like, you're so, that's what I was saying about, like, you're so, like, try not to be so rigid. But yeah, so I think that's where, that might be that is what's going to help you. I feel like your big D energy, honestly, I feel like your big D energy is manifesting. It's just, you're struggling to unlock that because it's an imbalance between your spirituality and your practicality, your intuition and your logic, your wisdom and your knowledge. Do you get what I'm saying? There's a difference between the two. So I think what you're not seeing is that in order for you to manifest, you have to unblock, like, you have to look at yourself, at the work. You have to do the work. You have to see where you are holding yourself back. And if you're not willing to see, then you're not going to be willing to make the changes. How do you know what to change? Or if you even have to, like, how do you know? I mean, obviously it's not, your manifest isn't working. So there's a blockage somewhere or something that's overactive. But how do you know how appropriate that you pick the kyanite, because this is all about bringing your chakras into alignment. And it's like, that's what you need. Oh my God, I wonder if yes, that totally makes sense. That totally makes sense with the different piles and the rings that I chose. Why did I not put that together sooner than this? Because I'm channeling and I'm not in my right mind. So I'm in my psychic mind. Not that my logic mind is right. Anyways, so yeah, that's it. That's for you. So yeah, it's like by not looking at yourself or your losses or the work that you are putting in or have not put in or that you need to put in, by not looking at and taking stock or accountability for your own actions, you're not able to see what's blocked or what's overactive. It's like having a plant that needs to be watered once a week, but you have a constant drip bulb in it that just drips, and then you're wondering why the plant is dying because it's oversaturated, but you're not taking the time to look at it to see, like, oh my gosh, these roots are rotting. I need to add more soil, change this out, put the water out, you know what I mean, give it some sun. Like, it's like that. You don't want to do all of that. You want to just say, like, I'm just looking at this, like, you want to, like, call out to the moon, like, your wishes, and then expect that you wake up, like, the moon is gonna, the sun is gonna rise, and then your wishes will be granted. It's you have to do more than that. You know what I mean? Like, just in that analogy alone, it's like, let's say you wanted to grow a tree, and you say to the moon, like, I want a tree. There's a contribution with the moon and the sun and you. Like, you have to plant the seed and like water it and whatever. The moon is gonna tell you when to do it, what resources to use. Like, the moon is going to tell you how to get to this manifestation. It's not just like speak and blink and boom. Oh, I really like the way that sounds. Speak, blink, boom. It's not like that. It's not like speak and blink and boom. It's a balance. It's co-creation. Manifestation is co-creation with you and the universe. You and the universe. The universe the universe magnetizes. So your energy, oh my gosh, I feel like this is a whole lesson, and I don't want to sound patronizing by, like, explaining it and breaking it down in that way. What I'll say is this: when you are so stuck in your own way of doing things or in your own way, it doesn't give the universe room to move. So before the universe can move or move whatever's in the way, it has to show you. Like, if you're what's in the way, it has to show you, because you have to get out of the way. You have free will. So the universe is not going to force you to do something. It's going to put you in positions that, yes, might make you feel cornered and you'll have tower moments. Absolutely. Not to force you to choose a manifestation, but to force you to sit still, to see what you're not seeing so that you can make a change within yourself to co-create. Do you know what I'm saying? Giving back to that Kool-Aid analogy, it's like, if you want to create Kool-Aid with the universe, and the universe is saying, like, I'll give you the water and like I'll provide the water and the Kool-Aid packets and you bring the sugar, and you're not like the universe is going to show you like, okay, this person has nectar over here, that person has honey, this person has stevia. I say person because I don't know why I say person, but do you get what I mean? And it's like, but they're going to show you like what you need. And until you look at that and say, oh, okay, I don't know. This is going to be, I hope that was helpful. I hope that didn't confuse you more, because you have to, I feel like where I might have messed up in that analogy is using the person term, because it's not that you look for another person to figure out what you have to do. You have to look within to know like, oh, okay, I'm going to use stevia instead of sugar. Like, do you know what I'm saying? But the universe is going to put you in situations to show you like how other people are successfully doing something, and instead of successfully manifesting. So instead of saying like, oh, this person did A, B, and C to manifest, I need to do A, B, and C. It's like, no, because you might look at the next person and see that they did 1, 2, and 3 to manifest. And you're looking at it and saying, oh, I need to do 1, 3. No, what you need to do is go inward and listen to spirit, and spirit's going to tell you, actually, homie, we have you on an accelerated path to your manifestation. So what you need to do is 1A, 2B, and 3C. Do you get what I'm saying? So instead of looking at what everybody's doing and then copying what they're doing, as far as like the overlay of it, you have to go internal. I don't know. It's like you're looking at the wrong part of the mechanism. Like this is the example that I'm getting. It's like if you were looking at a bike, you see the wheels moving and you think the wheels are what's turning. So you think like, oh, I need to get a wheel. I need to get wheels in order to be able to move. But it's actually the pedal that's pushing the bike, that's making the wheels move. Do you get what I'm saying? So where you're looking at someone riding a bike and you're saying like, oh, I need to get these wheels, what you really need to be doing is actually pushing the pedal. Do you get it? And that would work whether it's a tricycle, a unicycle, a bicycle. That's the analogy okay. Anyways, I feel like I'm like going on and on and on, but that is generally the gist of it for you, pile 3. That's what I have here. That is your big D energy, or what you can lean into. This is what you need to balance between your ego and your spirituality in order to help you to align with what it is that you're trying to manifest. So, I think that I am definitely going to anyways, so that's it. If this was helpful, I would certainly appreciate, first of all, let me hold on a second, because I want to talk to you for a second. Like I feel like I was talking at you. And that is not my intention. I actually had to have this, it doesn't matter. When I'm channeling, I'm like, it's like an out of body experience, and I give the messages the way that I get them. So when spirit is firm and direct and there's no nonsense, no BS, like that's how it's delivered to me. That's how it's spit out. I'm not in my own personal emotional body. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, I don't have the awareness, the compassion, the empathy that is me, Aaliyah, taking over the conversation. It's not leading the conversation. It's not a part of the conversation. This is spirit channeling through me. I am literally like a funnel, a channel. It's just moving through and out, right? So I felt the need to say that because I don't know that this message, you might, if you choose to, I would like to encourage, if this was like a little bit of, if this created a little bit of friction, I would like to invite you to maybe take a break, digest it, and try revisiting it again and see if you can hear it without, try to hear past the delivery and hear what is being said. I still love you either way, pile 3, and whether or not you choose to come back, I hope you do, but whether or not you choose to come back, I wouldn't be offended. I just feel like this is a pile, this reading, the specific pile, it was intentionally like, is frictious the word? I don't know. It was intentionally designed to create some sort of like, okay, I'm hearing rub you the wrong way. It was intentionally delivered. Spirit intentionally delivered it that way to rub you the wrong way. It's like they're trying to get, okay, I heard light a fire under your ass. Oh, okay. I'm just getting like, Spirit's waiting on you. Like they have what is, oh my God. Okay, so Spirit's waiting on you. I'm sorry. I'm taking that tone again. This is Spirit's energy. Spirit's waiting on you. Like, it's like they're waiting to give you this thing, but you're not doing what you need to do. This is not a co-creation, and they're waiting on you. So anyways, that's what I have for you, pile one. Please feel free to interact with the channel, like, comment, and subscribe, or not, whatever you decide to choose. Either way, I'm so grateful for you for being here, and I appreciate you sharing your energy with me. If this is you returning from a past video, or this is your first time, either way, thank you so much. And I hope that I do see you again in a future energy, because I absolutely did love tapping into your energy. I'm going to be honest with you. So that was great for me and for you. And I appreciate you sharing that. Have a wonderful day, pile 3. Bye.